am back. Listen, this is my last interview of the day. Listen, Tiffany told me, said, listen, the one you about to interview now, she has high energy. She's doing positive things. You hear in the background laughing. Tiffany already had schooled me about it. So I was like, okay, I love somebody who I could kind of bounce off and have a good time with on my shows. And so I want to go ahead and bring up who she is. But before I do that, let's talk about the Nonprofit Summit. The Nonprofit CEO Summit is coming next week. If you have not registered yet, you need to get there. It's going to be phenomenal, amazing, great, just all that in a bag of chips. And it's absolutely free. I mean, come on, where you get information from and they ain't charging no price for knowledge. You better go sign up and tell her Dr. Nikki told you to sign up. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and bring in this awesome woman and Dr. Dorsey herself, her first time on my show. Hey, girl.
Hello. How are you, Dr. Nikki? Thank you so very much for having me on. I am excited. I can't wait to get started with you. And shout out to Tiffany Denise Bell, the CEO and visionary of the Nonprofit Summit CEO. Yes, go register right now at www.nonprofitceosummit.com. It's free. Bring your board, your advisors, your intern, everybody. How they say down in Alabama, everybody. Okay, Dr. Nikki, back to you.
Oh my God, we're ready for that. She said everybody. Oh my God. That is hilarious. So tell the people who you are and where you from and what you got going on.
Yes. So my name is Dr.Tekemia Dorsey, and I hail from the place where you can catch crabs and purchase the best crabs, and that's none other than the Baltimore, Maryland. So when you're sliding on by the DMV, make sure you pick up a crab cake, and you will not be disappointed. And that's who I am. That's where I'm from. What's next, Dr. Nikki? Let's go.
So tell me about what do you do? So tell us what do you do and what you're offering at this amazing conference, this summit.
Yeah, so I am the CEO and founder of the DTD's Urban Multi-Sport Consultant Firm, and I am the founder and executive director of the International Association of Black Triathletes. So I run a nonprofit and a for-profit, and we focus on I focus on in the urban market. That's my specialization. From inception in the programs to scaling businesses, launch grassroots initiatives, scaling businesses. Oh, I think I said that already, right? Building communities, and also ensuring that our urban youth, who is the heart of the urban community, which is the center of the urban market, has resources and tools, not just to break the cycle of poverty, but to ensure that they are rich in more than just monetary value, so that they can break that hamster wheel of not being able to know and understand and break all of these disparities that's plaguing them.
That's interesting.
Yes,
so how long have you been doing this?
So I've actually been in the urban market all my life.
Okay.
So growing up, working from an education standpoint, my background in leadership, my background in sports, my background in youth, from a for-profit and non-for-profit standpoint, for right around 29, 30 years for right now. I've run 2 nonprofits, 2 successful for-profit organizations, been able to work with the school systems, universities. So I've been in the market for a really long time.
Wow, that's some good stuff, girl. That's why Tiffany got you here.
Yeah. No, that's why I'm here with you. Because, we just awesome.
You are amazing. So my question to you, so what are you going to be discussing at the summit?
Yes, Dr. Nikki, that's an excellent question. So my topic is the 5-step formula to reach the urban market, to grow businesses, launch grassroots initiatives, and to build communities. The number one, there are a lot of issues in the urban market, but there are a lot of resources. And right now, there are a lot of small businesses, large businesses, consultants, career professionals that don't know how to navigate the urban market. But that was yesterday news. We're in a whole new era. And if they're not currently in the urban market, now is the time. And I want to help them understand what that blueprint looks like. It's a lot of issues, but there are a lot of solutions. And those that are coming to the summit is part of it.
Wow, this is going to be amazing. So how did you connect with Tiffany?
How did I connect? That's a good question. I saw the ad for the nonprofit CEO summit. I was like, okay, I've done work with Trevor and them in the past with Black CEO. And, I kind of reached out and I was like, look, I work with Shay Brown. I went to school with Trevor and this kind of thing. Yeah. And Tiffany was like, okay, let's go. And we clicked, right away, like her passion, her background,
Yes.
her intent.
Yes.
When you know that it's when you have your purpose, right? And it's not all about the monetary, but really evoking change and authenticity and accountability and transparency, then you in the right place. And Tiffany and I, along with you, share that.
Mhm.
Everything is not measured by a dollar sign, but it is measured by you making it have an impact. And her vision and just the layout of the nonprofit CEO summit, I haven't seen before. And
Right.
I just think it's wonderful. So we just connected that way.
That is so good. Yeah, I'm familiar with Shay. In fact, I own HBCU magazine, so I had a chance to put Shay inside the magazine. Yep.
Okay, you said you was gonna have me in that soon. Okay, girl, I'm with you. Oh, there you go. Shameless plug. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What
Yeah,
you say about Shay?
Shay always a plug. Listen, I'm in Cancun, Mexico. I'm calling him. I'm like, hey, what's up? He was like, I'm in Cancun. I was like, Cancun? Oh, let me call you back. No, let's talk business. I'm like, boy, you the wife.
Yes.
Go enjoy your vacation with your family. He don't have no off days, period.
Yeah, he doesn't. He be like, oh, we friends. What you need?
Right. I love that. I love that about him. He treats everybody as if he knows them for 20, 40, 60 years.
Yes.
That's why you have to keep a Shay Brown in your pocket. You never know.
Yes, you never know. And you know what? And he does it with no problem.
No problem.
It's not like he like, okay, well, let me add a dollar sign to this. No, he gets that return on value because he's authentic and transparent up front, just like Tiffany is, right? Which is why we know that this nonprofit CEO summit is going to be excellent.
He's gonna be jumping. So get your ticket. So you go to www.nonprofitceosummit.com and let her know Dr. Nikki and Dr. Dorsey said go get your tickets.
That's right now.
Listen, right now. It's going to be a plethora of all kind of information, speakers from all over the world. Dr. Dorsey, I've been interviewing since 9 o'clock this morning, and it has been a lot of interviews. But so much knowledge for so many people. I just think everybody's brain is so different, but everybody bring something to the table. So this is exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Exciting.
And
Yes.
so, one of the topics that, is when we get into my topic for the 5-step formula to reach the urban market, I want to help not just those that are starting nonprofits or that has been in it a while, but even the boards, right? The interns, the admins, the volunteers, it's not about going down to the Department of Social Taxation and Assessments and paying $250, right? Because anybody can do that. Everybody has a project in the pit of their stomach, but it's really how you're being able to take that idea and really run with it from a visionary standpoint. And so one of the number one problems in the urban market is being able to define their purpose, right? And so most people don't know that Estrid Cathy back in 1946 launched her restaurant on a 6-day model. And this 6-day model, 6 days open and closed on the 7th day, right? And when she originally pitched it, people was like, you crazy. Down in the South, who does that, right? And with a restaurant. Until today, that restaurant brings in more revenue than McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell. And do you know what that organization is, Dr. Zeigler? ChickfilA. She knew what she wanted. She knew her model. She understood it. She did the research. She didn't let anybody wave her left and right. Until this day, 80 years later, Chick-fil-A is everywhere in every community, and they sell more in 6 days than most restaurants in 7 days. But you want to know why it made it work? Because she understood not just what she wanted to do, what her model looked like, but she understood the urban market. What happens to an African American family on a 7th day, which is Sunday, Dr. Zeigler? Right. They church, family, everything shut down. So when we know as leaders, not managers, what we want, how we're going to go get it, and whether our good girlfriend is there or our boyfriend decided to jump off or he no longer or they no longer, you don't have your hype people there. As a leader, especially in a nonprofit industry, Dr. Zeigler, nonprofit leaders or aspiring leaders have to know who they are and what they're doing and why, and not moving left and right depending on the weather that day. And Esther and Kathy nailed it. So anytime that I think about helping or giving that 5-step framework, step number one, when you're able to go deep and define your purpose, then if you're anything like Esther and Kathy, we all should be millionaires in at least 10 years. But we not. So how can we get to where she is, at least in a sense of execution, that we may not have picked up before today? Because this is what we know, Dr. Nikki. Prior to COVID, we had issues. Prior to COVID, we had excuses. Current COVID, there is no excuse. COVID-19 showed us that even doctoral holders can end up on an unemployment line.
Come on now.
So if you don't have that skill set, or you didn't have that visionary, or you didn't have that funding, guess what? SBA and PPP not going to turn around and give you a whole bunch of money. They're going to want to understand, how do you pivot? And another one of those steps is when you're thinking about value proposition, Dr. Nikki, is when we have to learn as individuals, as leaders, as consultants, as career professionals, people that are interested in starting and growing and building their businesses or relationships. How do you take your product and pivot it into the digital world? You just said on your show, you've been running shows, interviews all morning. You in the comfort of your home with a mega show. That's letting everyone that's listening that it's a possibility that if there's a will, there's a way. That's why they need to come to the Nonprofit CEO Summit and figure out how to make this work. www.nonprofitceosummit.com. Register is free. Let's go. All right, go ahead. Back to you.
Was that a plug?
Yes, go ahead.
I mean, I thought I had energy, man. What kind of shit? Tiffany told me. I promise she was like, "Oh yeah, your last show."
Yes, we about to turn it up, Dr. Zeigler. Turn it up. Okay, I'm sorry. Back to your show. Okay.
I am done, baby. I need to bring you on about co-host.
Yes, let me know, girl. We gonna on and popping. Let's roll. All right. Okay, wait a minute. Back to the show. Nonprofitceosummit.com. www. Okay.
Y'all gotta go to. I mean, when I say a lot of different speakers from all aspects of life, when you go to the summit, bring your pen and bring your notepad. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
bring your pen and bring your notepad.
And also be optimistic, right? You know, if I could share this really quick story, if I may. Yes. So I run a sports academy for urban youth leadership program, executive leadership. And two of my speakers are now speaking on 2 international summits. But here's the thing. I approached Shay a few days ago, and I was like, hey, Shay, look, I need to get these youth on your Comeback Champion 4.0, right? He was like, okay, Dr. Dorsey, let's go. Transaction made, fill out the application. Images came in, Dr. Nikki, within 48 hours, which is like,
you know,
right, turn it. But here's the thing. Started posting the images. Now, these are local, state, and national scholar triathletes, right? President of the NAACP, Randallstown Youth Council, second vice president, X, Y, and Z. But it wasn't any of those people that caught on. I got an inbox today from someone that's non-us, right? Older gentleman, different, in our nonprofit industry, was interested about the summits, right? So I'm like, hey, go ahead and register. I think it's going to be recorded, X, Y, and Z. And by the way, register for the ones that BJ and Haley on. You know what he said to me, Dr. Nikki? He said those were the ones that I was interested in registering for in the first place. These youth. So the backstory of this is Shay took a risk. with putting these youth leaders on his summit for the first time ever in his franchise history. Someone was attracted not to the summit itself, but for the youth that are now given a platform.
Mm-hmm.
Shea Summit is breaking into an untapped audience that would have never been connected if it wasn't for these youth. So what I'm trying to say is, as nonprofit leaders, aspiring leaders, consultants, career professionals, experts, people who want to do business at all, sometimes you got to take a risk. Guess what? The Nonprofit CEO Summit is not a risk. It's a blessing. Go right now to www.ceononprofitsummit.com and sign up, because you are here for a reason.
That's right.
So, like Dr. Nikki said, we got like over 75 speakers from across the U.S. in all industries. It's not saying we know everything, but we know enough to share the knowledge. And our job as leaders is to share that knowledge with you, because the only way we will get ahead is that we continue to be the student as well as the teacher and being optimistic to the possibilities. Listen, we're going into the fourth quarter now. We might be going back into shutdown. What will you do different?
Level up.
No.
Level up. It's time to level up. So my question to you, what's next for you after this summit? What's next?
Well, where we started, Dr. Nikki. So we got this summit that's coming up. We got the Call to Inspire Summit that's coming up.
Oh, you're doing that one. Okay.
We got the Comeback Champion 4.0 Summit that's coming up. We got the Sisters Leadership Conference that's coming up. I'm speaking at the Black Doctoral Network Conference, where I will be sharing my research from my leadership model. Then I am doing a another presentation at the Upswell Summit in October. So I have 5 speaking gigs in October. And then I will be hosting my own summit that's coming down the pike in January 13th through the 15th.
What's the
2022. Huh?
What's the name of it?
It's Time to Go Deep Virtual Summit.
You need to put me down as a media sponsor.
Yeah! Y'all let them know. I just inboxed her like 2 days ago, like, Dr. Nikki, what you want to do? She was like, what?
I'm sorry.
Look, you forgot me already. She been busy, y'all. That's how you know. See, this is an example of how you make it work. Because she been working so hard. She didn't even know what happened like 2 nights ago, right?
Oh my God, because I sent you a friend request, but you didn't accept my friend request.
I did, and we connected like 3 times already. Go to your chat box in a messenger.
Girl, my assistant be on.
She be on. We connected. You sent me you posted the video of our last, what's the name? I mentioned the summit to you. You was like, okay, let me know when it goes up. I was like, okay.
Stop embarrassing me in front of these people.
I'm sorry.
No, ma'am. No.
She said, cut.
Let me restart this interview over. This is just shame. I was coming to see you in Baltimore. No, I cannot be with you in Baltimore. No.
Girl, listen, if y'all tuning in right now, y'all need to go back to the replay, because we just having fun right now, but it's all about the Nonprofit CEO Summit.
It's about the Nonprofit CEO.
Yes, this is important, but this is how you work with this. You know, the beauty of this whole discussion is that for us, this is just conversation, because this is what we enjoy, right? It doesn't matter at the end of the day whether it's $5 or $55. When you have a heart for what you want, you're no longer looking at your bank account or at how many likes or at how many followers, or all you're worried about is just simply enjoying the process, right?
Not only enjoying the process, but making an impact on your community.
Yes, and that's how you know you're in the right place.
Right, but in this time in season, because we're international, we're making an impact on the international community. We got to do it. We got to do it. Listen, you've seen this interview. Go ahead and go and register at the Nonprofit CEO Summit. Share this live, because it's amazing. Just the good energy being connected across the airways. It matters. The problem with us, they always say, well, Black women, or statistics say we don't get along. Well, yes, we do. It's plenty of amazing women like Dr. Dorsey who knows how to fix crowns and be unapologetically her. She even
That,
apologized because that's what God made her be. And we have to learn how to just love on each other. Oh, we got
yeah.
somebody said he registered. Come on now.
I know that's right, y'all. See, this is how we make it work. Each one teach one. Wait a minute now. If you register one, I need you to bring 4 more people with you. It's called the 5 registration challenge. Yes, I just made that up. 5 days, 5 registration challenge. That means bring 4 more people. How many people in your house? Mama, dad, grandma, uncle, aunt, cousin, your fur babies. Okay, well, whatever. We need everybody signed up, and we need them signed up because here, let me back up for a second, right, Dr. Nikki?
Come on
So
back.
one of the things that I tackle with my nonprofit and for-profit is breaking the cycle of poverty in urban communities, right?
Ooh, like that.
And so I'm just going to throw it out there, right? So most people don't do business in the urban market because they don't understand it, right? That's the number one problem. Well, let me give you an insider's tip. And yes, it's mine. So even if you use it again, be sure to quote it. Gotcha. The heart of the urban market is the urban community. The heart of the urban community is family.
Yes.
Urban families doesn't look your traditional way. It could be mom, grandmom, uncle, cousin, uncle, big
I
sister,
like that.
little brother, all of those things. So when you're thinking about the value proposition of products and services in the urban market, you have to think about the entire family. But here goes the relevant truth. Urban markets, urban communities, and families are dealing with health disparities. They're dealing with financial disparities, educational disparities. They're thinking about a lack of preparation. There are when you think about unemployment and the urban market, it's 3 categories that dominate. Now write this down because I know you're listening. Like Dr. Nick said, put this down. Number one is female ages 25 to 34. Is the number one group of individuals in the urban market that live below the poverty level. Number 2 is females ages 18 to 24. The second group. Number 3, the third group that dominate the poverty level, under the poverty level in the urban community, are males 18 to 24. So here's my question to the listeners, right? Anyone, nonprofit leaders, for-profit, consultants, career professionals, experts, aspiring, what product and service or program that you currently have that could help women in general, men in general, youth in general, women ages 18 to 24, 25, 35, or 18 to 24 that can help them either prevent going in that poverty level, breaking the cycle of poverty level, or when they come out of the poverty level. And here's the other thing, Dr. Nikki. I remember when I was doing this county-wide initiative here in my county, right? And I actually sat down with directors at Department of Health and Human Services. 3 of them. One that looked like me and 2 that didn't. So we know we're talking about resources, how they can get involved. And right off the bat, the one that was dealing with the infancy and prenatal and all of that, they were like, we have these programs and, we're having a hard time getting the information out. So my question to her was, well, how do you get it out if you are already identifying it? Do you have a website? Obviously, we know because that's where you go apply for EBT, right? And Medicaid and all of that. She admitted, she said, we have programs. However, we don't have an IT person that's able to put the information or all the stuff on the website. So my question to her was, if you're telling me you have these programs, you're telling me you're having a hard time getting it to the frontline people, you're telling me the website isn't working, what happens? How did the information get to them? You want to know what she was very honest and told me, Dr. Nikki? They get it once they enter the system. I said to her, I said, the problem with that is they're now in the system. And once you get into that poverty mindset, it's hard to break that, which is why building communities and relationships are so important. That's why aspiring nonprofit leaders need to understand how to launch their grassroots initiatives, and current nonprofit and for-profit leaders need to work together to scale their businesses. The issues in the urban market centered around the urban community at the heart of the family isn't posts or intervention, it's prevention services. But we're so worried about bottom dollar, what's in it for me, I don't want to work with the urban market because they poor. To some degree, yes. But when you have the product and services to get them outside of this hamster wheel, then you know that your heart is in the right place and your reward will go far greater than your bank account. So let me recap this again before not Dr. Nikki steps in, right? Number one, poverty is an issue in the urban market. There are
Okay.
three categories that fall below the poverty level that if you have any type of services or product, you need to start thinking about how you can get it to them. Number one, female ages 18 to 30, 24 to 35. Number two categories, females ages 18 to 24. And number three are males ages 18 to 24. And here's the other thing. I'm dropping all these nuggets, so you better show up, right? www.nonprofitceosummit.com. The other thing, too, is that in order to help elevate the youth unemployment level, preparation programs are needed. When we have preparation programs, then we're helping those youth build a framework, a design, planting the seeds before they get into the real world, which means that they could possibly skip the the poverty level that's waiting for them, right? So, and that's one thing that I do, which is why I have two youth at ages 13 and 15 hitting the international summit, because when you're able to work together, competition trumps. I'm sorry, collaboration trumps competition. But the problem that we're having as individuals is that we're thinking through a single lens. We need to start thinking through an intersecting lens,
I like that.
right? So
Wow.
I just gave you a number one problem, three targeted audiences. Matter of fact, I gave you another problem, which is preparation programs and unemployment for youth, which turn into these adults. If you are anyone that's interested or even have a passion to make a difference, whether you understand the urban market or not, now is the time to get on board.
Wow. So sign up.
Sign
Sign up.
up.
Sign up now. Sign up today. Let me know you got it done.
And
Because she just dropped some gems that I know we wasn't expecting to have on this show. Just to show you, this is just the peak of what's going to be discussed next week.
yeah.
If you have not signed up, you missing out. You got to sign up. You got to connect with people who have knowledge, plethora of knowledge, especially for those who nonprofit, for profit. She gave you all this jewels. All because she been in the game how many years?
30 plus years.
30 plus years. And she don't even like she's 30 years old.
Girl, I'll be 50 next year. You know what someone would to do to that face? Look, go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl.
I know we're doing a 50th party. I got to make it a matter for this party, baby. I know you about to turn up on this.
Yes, because Dr. Nikki says so. Wait a minute. And then here's the other thing, Dr. Nikki. The other nugget where another problem in the urban market is that every individual thinks that the urban market is the same. They're not. Every urban market has a different DNA. Guess what? Baltimore is not like New York. New York is not like Florida. Florida is not like Atlanta. Atlanta is not like South Compton, California. But here's the thing. It's like when people look at the identical twins, right? Externally, they look the same. Right. Possibly hair, eyes, height. If you got a parent like us, they were dressed alike. But guess what? Their internal DNA could not be any different. Their attributes, their likes, their morals, their values, their leadership attributes, their ethics, all of those things are different. And when you're able to take it from wide to narrowing it down, then you're able to define or identify your targeted audience, create those products and services that relate to that culture. Then now build your marketing plan within your business plan step by step. That's going to allow you to draw in your support to not just build relationships or launch grassroots initiatives, but to scale your business according to what it needs to, but you're having impact. But if you're looking at all urban markets and all rural markets and all suburban markets the same, that's problem number one.
Wow. Listen, so how do they reach you?
Okay.
So
you can reach me at info@urbanmultisportconsulting.com. That's info@urbanmultisportconsulting.com. We would love to have a conversation with you. It's on us, that first initial conversation. Or
Okay.
if you really want to go deep with training, you can go to, I did a free training for anyone, no cost. It's up to you. You can download it and go back to it. And I go deep into the 5-step formula, a little different from what I'm going into next week. And that is www.atimetogodiepwebinar.com. www.atimetogodiepwebinar.com. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm excited. Had a chance to meet Dr. Dorsey.
Dr. Zeigler on the house. Woo, woo, woo. We going to the Dr. Zeigler Club, y'all.
We're doing it. It has been a pleasure. I gotta bring you on my show, man. I gotta bring you. We're gonna talk about some girl stuff next time. Talk about these women and how we can fix some crowns right here. So I gotta bring you back. Your energy is everything to me.
Girl, my crown. I'm like a Britney Spears going on. Vegas stop. Okay, let me stop. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Zeigler. My bad.
Tiffany, you come up. Let me go because I know Tiffany coming.
But really, on a serious note, Dr. Nikki, this was powerful. This is amazing. You are amazing. Tiffany is amazing. The Nonprofit CEO Summit is amazing. It's not often, like you said, even if you're just on the fence, you're in fear, you're doubtful, someone told you were crazy. Again, Astro Kathy has 80 years later has the #1 fast food restaurant chain in the world, and her restaurant is only open 6 days. They rest on the 7th day. McDonald's can't touch that. So my point to those that are listening, when I say bring your entourage, I want you to bring your entourage because each one teach one. We all need to be in a mindset of learning knowledge. Even as doctors, we're still learning, right? We're still teachers and we're learning. And so until a day God calls us home, our venture and our passion can never die. And if you made it to today, that means that you still got work to do in the kingdom, right? Whatever kingdom you believe in, you wake up in the morning, you got something to do. It's no excuse. www.nonprofitceosummit.com.
Look,
you got a lot going on. Bring the family and the fur babies and keep it going. What? Wait a minute. What they saying, Dr. Nikki? Look.
Tiffany said she's something else. I love her.
I love Tiffany Belty, man. Let me tell you.
We need the both of y'all on the Success Women Conference. You know,
yes, look, we already there. I'm gonna be a media sponsor with Dr. Nikki or her show. What?
We're gonna interview these people on the show.
Listen, they don't even know what's coming. But anyway, www.nonprofitceosummit.com. Don't let us come to your house because we know where all y'all live.
We know where y'all live.
We know where y'all live. We know where your mom and them live too. Y'all better come on, stop playing. Okay, y'all. We see y'all on the other side. But to get me, www.urbanmultisportconsulting.com. 5-step formula. Come on to the urban market. I just gave you a lot of nuggets as to why and how you need to get in there now. A lot of issues. You are the solution, babe. Woo!
I will see you on the other side, guys. Tell my special guest, Dr. Dorsey, we will see her later. Bye.